Hello and welcome. I'm Al Barrows, and this is UFO Disclosure, the podcast that's meant to show an average person's reaction to all the UFO, UAP news from everywhere and anywhere. Today, I'd like to start out by talking about an incident that happened on New Year's Day in Miami. And as much as I tried to ignore it, I couldn't get away from it because it was all over social media. Um, It generated about 700 million posts. It occurred at the Bayside Mall in Miami. It started out with a group of youths fighting and assaulting each other with sticks. And it made local news. It wasn't a big deal until people started to tweet about it. And there were these tweets about aliens, three aliens that had been seen and that were really the cause of the panic. Evidence such as the large amount of police was cited as evidence. Also, reportedly, there was a power outage, and there was also a no-fly zone that supposedly occurred. I'm going to go on to read an article about the occurrence. This is entitled Space Aliens Attack Miami, ? Social media reports creatures at mall and massive police response. And this was written on January the 4th, about 3 days after the event. It's site staff. Okay, so Miami, Florida News, January the 4th, 2024. In a recent incident at a local mall, social media reports and videos surfaced claiming an attack by large creatures, prompting a significant response from the Miami Police Department. According to witnesses, accounts shared online, these creatures were described as being between 7 to 10 feet tall, leading to the shutdown of air traffic in the Miami area, with only police helicopters reportedly remaining operational. Sparse reports also mentioned the sighting of unidentified flying objects. One social media post detailed the alleged events, asserting that 7 to 10 foot tall creatures were involved in the incident at the mall. The post further claimed that a substantial number of police officers responded, resulting in the closure of the airport and a power outage affecting both the mall and approximately 60,000 nearby residences. Additionally, it was mentioned that the police scanners were temporarily disabled. Notably, local and national mainstream media outlets have not reported on these events. Contrary to these claims, alternative reports suggest that the disturbance was caused by a group of up to 50 juveniles who were allegedly attacking mallgoers. Despite the absence of online videos depicting the creatures, multiple posts featuring videos of the juveniles involved in the incident were readily available. Some have speculated that the initial reports of unusual creatures may have been an attempt to draw attention to the broader issue of escalating youth violence across the nation. I'm going to show a bit of the videos here.
Esta es una llamada a todas las unidades de la ciudad de Miami.
You can see there the police presence. It's overwhelming.
Dozens of chaotic scene. Bridget. Specialist Bridget Matter live with what sparked this chaotic scene. Bridget.
And chaotic is an understatement. There has been a lot of activity in the last hour. This all started, according to police, with some sort of fight between juvenile groups that were armed with sticks. We're also told by witnesses that fireworks were thrown at each other, and we have seen that here on the ground as well. Kids are throwing fireworks into the air. But let me show you the scene here. This has calmed down quite a bit, but in the last 5 minutes, we saw a large group of police running, getting into their cars, then rushing south on Biscayne Boulevard. Show you the scene from above, a picture to show you that massive police presence that was here where we are now in the last hour or so. You will see a lot of police units that responded to this, and what transpired after that were juveniles being pushed west into deeper downtown Miami, rowdy crowds, police trying to disperse them, get them to leave the area.
Then people got pepper spray, then that's when the police started coming. And then after the police started coming, they told everybody get out, and then not everybody by the street, and they just throwing fireworks.
Okay, one more.
4 teens are in jail this afternoon after an incident late last night at Bayside Marketplace. They're charged with burglary, grand theft, and battery, among other things.
Yeah, mess out there. NBC6's Amanda Plasencia joins us live from Bayside, where things are once again calm, Amanda, but it is a major concern. A lot of cruise ship passengers come here. It's a tourist destination.
That massive police presence. According to arrest reports, police say a large group of teens started causing a riot inside the mall and were lighting loud fireworks. They were entering businesses, possibly armed with sticks, causing damage inside stores and just creating panic for people inside Bayside. Now, as officers tried to control the situation, they tell us they had to shut down Biscayne Boulevard for 6 blocks until that all clear was given.
Okay, so in New York, we used to call that wilding, where teenagers just go wild and they cause havoc and they steal, rob, cause physical violence and physical damage to property. So afterward, there were a lot of various tweets that either pushed the alien narrative or played it down. I'm going to show both. This is somebody who's really into aliens and ufology, and he has an idea of what he thinks might have happened in terms of the teenagers saying that they saw some sort of alien presence.
A lot of questions asked me to, cover it. What's my opinion on it? So let's go. First thing I was asked is, do I think it's a psyop? No, I don't. The reason for that is because it doesn't have the hallmarks. Like, a psyop is a psychological operation, usually done by like the CIA and their friends. They have some sort of a narrative that they want to push so they can duck some sort of an orchestrated activity, and then they leak it out to the media and that kind of stuff to get it out there, to get it planted into the collective unconscious so that we believe whatever story they want us to believe. This happened. I mean, it's obvious looking at the videos. This is a crazy police presence, right? Like I've never really seen before for something so ordinary. Some kids fighting. I mean, come on, it's Miami. So that was crazy. And then other things that lead me to think that maybe something significant happened. Flights being grounded, power being out for 30,000 people, people saying they tried to take cell phone pictures and their cell phones weren't working. And then most importantly, the description of the beings. Now this is where it gets super interesting. Now, I do a lot of work in interdimensional type stuff. And one thing that's known is that when you do traverse dimensions and you go into altered states of consciousness and stuff like that, that are smooth the reality that we're so accustomed to here, this cause and effect reality where, you can kind of predict how things are going to behave and stuff. You roll a ball and you kind of know the trajectory and the speed and all that kind of stuff. In these other dimensions, that breaks down. And what you get is this like jerky motion, like stop action type movement, like claymation. Now, the people describing these beings, right, they don't know any of this. They're just regular people, right? So if they were making it up, if they were making up a zombie attack, they would describe zombies like we're used to seeing in movies. They were making up an alien invasion. They would describe aliens like we're used to seeing. That's not how they describe them. The descriptions are kind of crazy. So this is how they describe the beings. Super tall, with legs, but they didn't walk, they glided. They didn't necessarily even have feet, that they changed shape and form, and that they seemed to kind of click in and out, like they would be there and then they wouldn't be there, almost like a static on a TV or something like that, like a hologram that was like kind of glitching out. This is what would happen if there was some sort of an interdimensional bleed over event, meaning like there's other dimensions stacked on top of ours. There's all sorts of stuff outside of the reality that we can perceive. We can only see like a tiny sliver of the visible light spectrum. We can only hear a tiny sliver of sounds. We have very limited senses. Out there in the cosmic zoo, there's all sorts of layers and dimensions full of life and energies and intelligences. There's different times that run perpendicular to us and stacked on top of us, different timelines. There's all sorts of stuff out there that we don't see and perceive because we don't need to survive. That's what our central nervous system does. It filters all that out so that we're not freaking out with all the sounds and sights and stuff, right? But it doesn't mean it's not there. So if there was some sort of a bleed over, meaning like their dimension momentarily bled over into ours, you would see what these people describe. They describe the beings as looking confused almost, like scared, like not like worried, you know, they weren't aggressive or anything. There wasn't an invasion, no one should be scared or worried about this. But the beings seemed like they were like, shouldn't be there. They're like, what the fuck is this? You know, how did we get here? That's what would happen if, for some reason, their dimension, their reality, bled into ours, and they found themselves momentarily in our dimension. I don't think they came here to attack or do anything nefarious. The description of them was almost as if they were lost. Now, the way people describe these beings, the way they looked and the way they behaved, is not how people would describe an alien invasion. It's not how they would describe Project Bluebeam. It's not how they would describe, like, there would be no reason to do a psyop like this, because this actually follows the sort of rules of what you'd expect with interdimensionals. This isn't something I think that our government is trying to plant into our subconscious. This is something that I think happens. I think that there are other dimensions full of life. And sometimes, for different reasons, whether on purpose or by accident, we bleed over into theirs and they bleed over into ours. That is what, if I had to guess, I mean, it's still very possible that nothing happened at all there, that this was just hoopla, maybe somebody called in like a terrorist attack or bomb threat or something, and the police overreacted and they didn't want to come out and publicly say that because they look kind of silly with the amount of firepower they brought down there to a stick fight. But there's enough other stuff that people have said that kind of made my ears perk up and say, huh, normal, regular people that aren't immersed in this world like me and wouldn't know these things, these little factoids, wouldn't say this. They wouldn't describe zombies or aliens or whatever behaving this way. They wouldn't say these things that are very, go right in line with like what would happen with interdimensionals mistakenly or accidentally kind of bleeding over into our dimension. I think this is what might have happened. Maybe. Who knows? But this would explain it. So it's not an alien invasion. It's not Bluebeam. It's not a psyop. It's nothing to be scared of or worried about or anything. I think this is part of nature. This stuff just happens sometimes. And sometimes you see these like bleed over events and it freaks you out and because you don't know what to make of it, and it seemed like it freaked them out too. And but it's kind of nature. It's kind of like if you're walking around the corner and like a bear's there. The bear's gonna be like, whoa, where the fuck did you come from? You're gonna be like, whoa, where the fuck, you know what I mean? You're both gonna be kind of scared, right? And you're probably both gonna go your own directions and be like, whoa, that was close. Kind of seems like that's what happened in Miami, if anything happened at all. That's my opinion. Let me know. What are your thoughts? Have a beautiful day. Peace.
Okay, so he didn't give his name, but I do appreciate the gentleman's opinion. He's obviously studied up on interdimensional beings. I thought it was only fair, though, to show the other side of what people are thinking. And this is a police officer, and he tweeted pretty much the opposite opinion.
January 2nd, 2024, with the whole Bayside situation, y'all gotta be stopped. Y'all gotta stop believing these people on TikTok and social media and all. Man, y'all gotta be stopped. In regards to this Bayside incident, we did not respond because it was 9-foot, 10-foot creatures and all this other bullshit y'all got going on. Bro, I'm gonna make this short, sweet, and simple. There was no black ops helicopter circling around the entire mall or any of that shit. There's no creatures, no nothing. It was a bunch of juveniles fighting and throwing fireworks at people. That's why we responded. Bro, y'all gotta stop this shit, bro. Like, stop creatures, none of that. Stop. And for the people online looking at this, so y'all gotta stop believing them. Seriously. Stop.
Okay, so when I saw that police officer, I thought, yeah, you know, he's right. You have to start thinking realistically. But then somebody posted this, and it got me thinking again. This is supposedly the alien that was one of the aliens that was at the mall. Isn't that freaky? Okay, and I'm pretty sure that alien footage is CGI because somebody then posted this saying that the creature in the video is CGI. However, it appears to be based on a species known as GNOMOPO, GOMOPO. They are a race of mantids from a planet called Negumac in the Antarian system. And I'm just going to show what it looks like. Problem is that that mantid is walking on all fours, and no other witnesses said that the creatures were walking on all fours. So it's sketchy at best. It was also reported that a UFO was spotted in the sky after the Miami Mall incident. And I have some video of that as well.
All right, look. See, look, y'all thought I was playing. I know y'all see those lights. Look at them. Not them little ones because my little mirror thing scratched up. I know you see those right there, floating. Oh my, bruh, this every day out here, or every night, but still, look at that. Bruh, this really in Miami. I'm not playing. Look, the airport is right over here. That's the airport. You know what I mean? They always got little lights and stuff. You know, it's probably airplanes. But over here, this ain't the airport.
Okay. So that supposedly was a UFO that appeared after the Miami incident over the Miami Mall. And as time went on, it became a free-for-all. And there were more and more posts and videos that I came across. For example, this one, which is obviously, I don't think this was even a mall in this country. And the heading says, can anyone tell me that this video is real or fake from Miami Mall? No, for one thing, they're all wearing masks, and most people are not wearing the COVID-19 mask anymore. And this was posted by Yagnesh. So I don't think that was taken at the Miami Mall at all. My reaction to all of this is that people are reporting possible alien appearances, but it seems as though it was more crime or violence driven event, and maybe the whole alien appearance was thrown on top of that to maybe cover up the violence or justify it, or even make it more interesting and have people be able to post and put in their 2 cents. A lot of panic, overwhelming police presence, and a lot of times the police react that way when they think that there's a mob out of control and attacking vendors and creating havoc at the mall, especially the day of or the day after New Year's. Reactions are heightened, of course. Okay, just to wrap things up and not to belabor this, I have a video of somebody that posted his CB recordings of the police. I guess he has a police scanner, and he seems to think that he has proof positive that most of what was said, or the narrative about the aliens being at the mall, was not true.
The United States government doesn't want you to know what really happened in Miami New Year 2024.
Nothing happened.
Back, no cap, yo. No cap.
Nah, it's all cap, yo. Why you frontin'? Everyone's claiming that the police scanners and radios were shut down that night. But that's a lie. I had no problem finding them, and I'm going to play them for you and prove everything I'm saying. What you'll hear is that on that night, around 8:15 p.m., there was a reported theft at the Margaritaville at the Bayside Mall.
4426. So you'll table clear for 27 at Bayside, 401 Biscayne Boulevard, Margaritaville. That was the complainant's purse.
The cop got there on scene and saw that there were over 100 people sitting in the parking lot having what he called a car rally, but none was ever scheduled with the mall.
Yeah, so there seems to be a car show going on back here. I don't have I'm going to see if I can make contact with someone at the FTX Arena, see if they have this scheduled for the rear of...
Cops that blocked off the street, formed a line, and started to push the people out because it was a riot.
a large group of people fighting, and they're advising rescues en route. Also, security unable to hold the crowd. Juveniles fighting with sticks, and a blade was seen, and they're now pushing each other towards the water. No description on the person with the blade. Units QH.
All units do not approach. Just hang back on the boulevard, and I guess it's Boulevard and Flagler where the fountain is. And we'll approach. We'll form a line. We'll go over there. Everybody hang out on the boulevard. We'll go together.
Let me just point out the obvious for everybody that every one of those buildings and streetlights has power. And people are also claiming that all the flights were grounded out of Miami and that there were black helicopters flying around the area. Again, that's complete bullshit. Here's the ADS-B flight tracker for that night at 9 p.m. and you can see that it's business as usual going out of Miami International Airport. This original bullshit post got 7 million views. And I want to ask why. And I want to remind people that they were pushing a story about giant aliens in somebody's backyard back in Las Vegas last year. So this isn't even an original script.
Southern Nevada is abuzz tonight with stories about the crash of an unknown object and the alleged sighting of strange creatures in the backyard of a Northwest Valley home.
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us.
Okay, so he believes that this is just people trying to find validation, meaning in their lives, trying to draw attention to themselves. I appreciate his post because he shows evidence that there was no fly zone over the mall, and that the police radios were still working. The police radio obviously showed that there was some sort of a unscheduled car show that did not have a permit, and that's possibly why they were there initially. Then they reported that there was a group of youths fighting with sticks. Okay, so we know those two are facts. Other than that, everything is up for conjecture. I do take issue with his playing down the Las Vegas incident last year, because I did a podcast on that, and I thought that was a lot more credible. Remember that if you hoax an event, even if it's an alien sighting, and you call 911, you can be arrested for that. And the family never was arrested. They were never charged with anything in that manner. So I don't think that was so much of a hoax. I believe that they actually saw something in Vegas. This Miami Mall incident, though, it might just have been debunked. I'm Al Barrows, and this has been UFO Disclosure. Sending out all my good intentions and love to all. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I have a website, ufo-disclosure.com. My Instagram is UFO Disclosure Podcast. My Twitter is at UFO Disclosure with an underscore at the end. And my YouTube channel is at UFO Disclosure -B as in Bravo, R as in Romeo, 3YY. I'm sending out a shield of protection to all the children in Gaza and the Ukraine. Please pray that they're all kept safe. Thank you. Thank you for your prayers, your good intentions, and for listening to my podcast. Be well.
في واحد قاعد ينادي على إن أبوي قاعد يقول له وقاعد يقول له اطلع هذا وقاعد ينادي عليه اخلو فجأة مسكنا أغراضنا وطلعنا.
أنت إيش اسمك؟
شام.
وين إحنا؟ سكان وين أنت؟
المغازي.
ليش خايفة؟
يا اخي مسكين لاي حدا تلاقيش هنا هنا.
ليش خايفة يا عمي حبيبي؟
أنا كنت أستنى حتى تخلص عشان ابني مسافرة واستناها تيجي.
إن شاء الله بتخلص الحرب وبتشوفي أمك، تعيطيش.